Welcome. In today's class, I have a treat for you. We are going to look at Adho Mukha Svanasana, or downward facing dog pose. Let's begin with our breathing. So go ahead and lie down and get yourself comfortable. Prop your knees up with a blanket or keep your knees bent, whatever you need to do to find that comfortable, centered place. Take a deep, long, slow inhalation, followed by a deep, long, slow exhalation, and let go of your day. Allow your body and mind to soften, to release into this moment. Allow them to be perfectly present. Connecting deeply. Feel your breath. Allow your breath to flow in and out of your body. Relax your jaw. Soften your tongue. Settle into the floor. Visualize your inhalation bringing in space and openness into the body. Use your exhalation to allow yourself to release and relax even more. Take a few more breaths, letting yourself release just a little bit more. All right, we are going to begin lying down today. So you get to stay where you are, but do move your fingers and toes. Just let your body know that relaxation time is done and you're going to start moving. If you have a lift underneath your knees, remove the lift. We're going to start with the good mornings we did a couple of classes ago. So straightening the legs and extending long through your legs. Bring your arms up, fingertips pointed toward the ceiling. Walk your shoulders down your back. Keep your ribs down as you very slowly bring your arms up and overhead. I want you to reach from the feet up and out through the fingertips. It's okay if your thumbs don't touch the floor. If your shoulders are a little tight and they're not going to go there, that's just fine. Now take a deep breath in. As you exhale, draw your right knee up into the chest. Give it a hug. Soften through the hip joint. On an inhale, open the leg out to the side. Keep that left hip down so you're not tipping through the pelvis. Keep that pelvis level. On an exhale, come back up. And on an inhale, release. Other way. On an exhale, left knee comes in. Keep reaching through your right leg. Draw that left knee in. Relax through the hip joint. On an inhale, open the leg out to the side. Keeping the opposite hip, this time the right hip down. On an exhale, come back up. And an inhale, extend. All right, we're going to speed this up and do 3 more times to each side. So on an exhale, right leg comes up. As you inhale, open the leg out to the side. As you exhale, come back. On an inhale, release. I'll talk you through one more time. Exhaling, left knee comes in. Inhaling, taking it out to the side. Exhaling, bringing it back up. Inhaling, release. Now go ahead and do 2 more times, following the pace of your own breath. And you know what? If you forget where you're supposed to inhale and where you're supposed to exhale, don't worry about it. Just make every movement match with one part of your breath, either inhale or an exhale. Warming up through the hip joint and through the shoulders. I love this series. It's so nice. It's a lovely one to start with when you don't really feel like doing your yoga practice. You're really tired and you just don't feel like doing it. This is just such a nice way to get started, and then it's easy to keep going. Finishing on the left side, you're probably almost done. When you finish, do one more good morning just for a moment. Give it a nice extension, and then you'll just release. Bring the arms down by your side. Toes turn out to the side, and just take a couple of breaths and just feel the difference. Isn't that lovely? Nice place for us to all meet. Okay, so hopefully you're done. Bend your knees, roll over to one side, and come on up. We're going to move to Sukhasana, or easy cross-legged pose. And if you recall, you need to have a blanket for that, or some sort of cushion. Hiding the feet beneath the opposite knees. Also, just want to review, if you feel any strain in your knees at all, prop them up. You can use your block, rolled up towel, anything. If one knee hurts and you need to prop it, be sure you prop both. I don't have an extra block here to do that, to show you, but do both, because it keeps you even. We want to keep that balance going. It's really important to do that. Okay. Find your sit bones. Draw the belly in, get really long through the body. Gently roll the shoulders back and down, and just let them release. Bring your arms out to the side. Externally rotate, get broad across the collarbones, lengthen the arms, and bring them up and overhead. Reach the sit bones down as you lengthen all the way up and out through the fingertips. Softening. Good. Now twist to your right. Left hand outside the right knee, right hand behind you. Feel the twist. So as we're moving toward downward facing dog today, we want to warm up through the hip joint and through the shoulder joint. There's a lot of hip and shoulder joint in this pose. Come back through the center, arms go up and overhead. And then go the other way. Breathe. And then come back through the center. Take a breath. Big shoulder rolls, bring them forward. So warming up through those shoulders. Then downward facing dog is a little bit easier. Good. There's a reason we haven't done it until class 11. It's a lot harder than you realize. Go the other way. Let me rephrase. The pose itself is pretty easy to do. Most bodies can get into some variation of downward facing dog. One more. That doesn't necessarily mean you're doing it correctly, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And it takes more awareness to be able to make sure you're doing the pose correctly. And that's what took 10 classes, to get you a little bit more aware of the body so that you could self-monitor in the pose. Okay, change the cross of your legs. That's the trick of teaching it from a distance, not being right in front of you. I can't give you as much direct help, so I need you to be more aware of your body so you can help yourself based on my direction. So feeling your sit bones getting long, bring the arms out to the side, externally rotate, and again you're broadening across the collarbones, lengthening the arms, inhaling, bringing the arms up and overhead, feel the reach. And now take your left hand down and you're going to reach up the right side. So you're going to let the right sit bone sink as you lengthen. Bend your left elbow, drop that elbow right into your side as you tip over. Feel that stretch up the side. Ah, yum. This gets into some tight things in my body, that's for sure. Come back up, sweep the left arm up, and we'll go the other way. Right hand goes down, press the palm, reach up through the side, and take it over. Breathe, drop your shoulder away from your ear. And then come back up, both arms come up, and release, bring the arms down. Roll the shoulders back one time, and then just take a breath. Doesn't that feel good? Ah, nice release to the shoulders. Take the back of the right hand to the base of your spine. Draw your shoulder back and down, and take your left ear down to your left shoulder. Breathe, feel the breath move right into your neck. Turn your head down at an angle, as if you're looking underneath your arm. And then bring your head back up, release the arm, change sides. Roll the shoulder back and down. Take your right ear down to your right shoulder. Breathe. These are some tight muscles in my neck. Just ask my massage therapist and chiropractor. Turn your head down. I actually have a pretty tight body for someone who does so much yoga. My massage therapist once said, bring your head back up. Once said, I thought you did yoga. And I said, just think of how I'd feel if I didn't do yoga. All right, so come up onto all fours. Let's do cat tuck and arching. We haven't done this one in a while, so let me review it. You can do it with me as I review it. You want to press down through the base of the index finger, knees right below the hips. And we're going to start really small, so I want you to arc right into the upper back, not the lower. Keep it out of the lower, and just get right into that upper back. And then release back to neutral. Draw your belly up and round your lower back. Get right into that lower back. Doesn't that feel good? Oh, and then back to neutral. Inhale up into the upper back, arc. So when we keep it small like this, we can pinpoint it a little bit better than when we go big, which I'll show you in a moment, and then tuck the belly in, round the lower back. So what I mean by pinpoint is, I'm guessing you can really feel a stretch in the lower back here. And then release. And here you can really feel the arc in the upper back. We can really get a focal. We want to get into that upper back to really get some movement there. And then release. And one more time, lower body, or lower back. And it just helps get a little bit movement down there. Our lower backs tend to be pretty tight. And then release. But when we go big, go ahead and go big now. It really gets into all of the vertebrae. It's a little different action. The purpose is a little different. Go ahead and flow. Inhale, get up. Exhale, go down. And just feel all of the vertebrae moving. I like to envision all of my vertebrae undulating with the movement and with my breath. Getting movement between each one. Good. One more. All right. And back to the center. All right. Table with a twist. Separate your knees. Put your left hand in the middle of your hands and bring the right arm up. Reach that left hand down as you open across the heart and reach up through the right. Okay, now here's one of those self-monitoring pieces. What I want you to notice, if your shoulder, I'll change direction so you can see. If your shoulder is coming forward, take your hand down. That'll distrain the shoulder. I only want you to have this arm up if you can do so and still be broad across the heart. My shoulders are more or less stacked. And then come on down. Thread the needle so you're bringing the right arm underneath the left, resting on the right side of your head, drawing that left sit bone back. Breathe. And then come back up. And let's do the other side. So right hand in the middle, left arm comes up. Reach that right hand down as you broaden across the heart. And then come down, thread the needle. Feel the counter twist. And then come back up. All right, we're going to do that one more time, and we're going to add on. And let me show you what it looks like, because it's really hard to see me when you're in it. When we thread the needle, you're going to take the hand that's, the palm is flat, not the one that you thread, but the other one. You're going to take it up and overhead for like an extended child's, for half an extended child's. You'll press the palms, and you're going to draw the sit bone back so you get this really, sorry, I think I just bonked the mic, a really long stretch up the side of the body. All right, so let's do it. Left hand down. We'll start with the right arm up. It's always nice to repeat a pose, because at least hopefully the second time is a little bit better. Come on down, which helps you appreciate what the first time did. Try not to mess with my mic here. So first of all, find your position. Then you'll reach the left hand up and overhead. And you're going to place the palm flat and draw that left sit bone back. Feel the stretch all the way up the left side. Nice. All right, come back up onto all fours. And we'll switch sides. Right hand down. Left arm comes up. Breathe. And then come down. Thread the needle again. So left hand goes underneath the right. Right hand goes up and overhead. Palm is flat. Draw the right sit bone back. Get a nice stretch up that right side. Breathe. And then release and come on up. All right, now we are going to move toward downward facing dog now. Separate the knees, or keep them separate, and walk them back. We're going to start off in extended child's. And extended child's has been a prep for downward facing dog. I've been slowly getting you ready. So press the palms, send your sit bones up toward the ceiling, forehead down the floor as we've been doing. Feel long through the body. This is the upper body position for downward facing dog. Now what's nice about this one is there isn't a lot of weight in the shoulders, because if the shoulders aren't aligned really well in down dog, we can do a little damage to the shoulder joints. We need to be careful. All right, come back up. Now, downward facing dog. Let me just show you the pose. If you're new to this position, it looks like this. It's a pike position. Now, most common error, well, there are a couple of common errors. Two most common are hands and feet too close together, which causes this lovely rounding you can see in my upper back. And the other one is not going back far enough so that the weight is more over the wrists and the hands, which is kind of uncomfortable, and you don't get a very nice stretch to the chest. And it makes it feel like all your weight's in your hands. So, first of all, getting the space between the hands and feet so that you don't get too narrow a stance, you're going to start lying down. And hands underneath the shoulders and toes tuck under. This is the spacing between your hands and feet. So as you move into down dog, resist the urge to walk the hands back or the feet up, which is what 90% of us all do. There's just that natural tendency to get it a little closer. Resist it. Just keep your hands and feet where they are as you come up onto all fours. And it's because it's kind of an awkward long table. I think we automatically start moving. So now, hands are about shoulder width apart, feet are about hip width apart. You don't want to take the hands any further apart. It's okay to take the feet further apart. So it's not going to hurt your hips. If you take your hands further apart, it can hurt your shoulders. So you want to keep the hands right where they were. They were right underneath the shoulders. Keep them there as you come up. All right, lift the knees. Now, what I always like to do is start with a bent knee. I start all of my students this way, and I start all of my practices this way, because this way there's no hamstring tension that's going to keep you from aligning. And now I want you to do that extended child. So reach the sit bones up and get long through your body. Now come up high on the toes. Keep that length through the body. And slowly take your heels down toward the floor. Keep the sit bones lifting. So you're still lifting up here. You're not rounding. Keep the spine long. Now, if you have really tight hamstrings, you might need to keep the knees bent for your down dog. I want to see this long spine and to keep the long spine. Good, and then you come down, and this is when child's pose feels really good. So go ahead and head into child's pose. We'll do this again, but just let yourself get really small here for a moment. Let everything relax, draw everything in. Take a few breaths. Check in with the body. All right, let's do it again. So again, lie flat. And you know, the spacing between the hands and feet, I will also tell you that I actually counted, I did the calculations, approximate calculations, around 15,000 downward facing dogs in my career, which everyone decided on Facebook was an underestimation, so even more than 15,000. And I still start out this way with my first down dog of every practice, just to make sure that spacing is right between my hands and feet. Come on up. Press the palms, lift the knees, bend the knees, send the sit bones up, 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 up. Take your chest toward your knees, get really long, and then come up onto your toes, straightening your knees, and take your heels down toward the floor. And breathe. Your heels will probably not touch the floor. Yoga therapists at some point, I don't remember when or where, did research on people who get their heels down in down dog, and 9 out of 10 did so only by hyperextending their knee, meaning taking their knee beyond natural alignment. So most of us aren't anatomically built to get our heels to the floor, so it does not need to be your goal. Go ahead and release and come down. All the way down, child's pose. Oh, heavenly. I love downward facing dog. It's just a delicious pose. Take another deep breath. Drop right into the back body. And then come on up. Stay rounded all the way up. Let your head stay tucked. And then come all the way up. Downward facing dog is such a great pose. And there's a reason most yoga classes do it at least a few times. My students actually point out whenever I teach a class without downward facing dog because it's so unusual. It is a partial inversion because your hips are above your heart. It's a little bit of a forward fold. It stretches the entire backside of your body. It is a wrist strengthener, an arm strengthener, a hip opener, a shoulder opener. It does so many wonderful things for you. So I highly recommend downward facing dog. But make sure the shoulders are very warmed up as you move into your pose. Okay, I think we deserve a little longer Shavasana today, don't you? So put on any layers you might like to have for Shavasana, and then go ahead and lie down on your back. And let's do the stomach turning pose. We haven't done this one in a while. So knees up into the chest, and you're going to take your legs first down to your left. Right shoulder stays down. Feel the twist. I love this pose. I love anything that twists my spine. Not that I carry any tension in my spine, mind you. And then come on up. Take a breath. And then go the other way, down to the right. Lovely. And then come back up. Now, give the knees a hug. Relax the back down. Soften your back into the floor. Isn't that heavenly? And then extend the legs and move into Shavasana. Arms about 45 degrees away from the body. Turn the palms up as you walk the shoulders down your back. Make sure your lower back is comfortable. There's no tension. If there is, go ahead and put a lift underneath your knees. Or you may just opt to do that anyway. Take 3 deep breaths, and using your exhalations, allow yourself to soften and release more and more. Letting go. Feel the effects of today's class on your body. It's amazing how much better we can feel in merely, we did about 25 minutes of yoga. And I bet you feel a whole lot better. Soften the soles of your feet and your toes. Soften the palms of your hands and your fingertips. Soften the muscles in your neck, releasing your jaw, your tongue, letting your whole body surrender down into the floor. Soften your eyes, releasing the skin on your forehead. Let everything go. And enjoy your relaxation. Gently, calmly, and ever so peacefully begin to bring your awareness back. Deepening your breath and gently moving at your fingers and your toes. As you're ready, bend your knees and roll to your right side, making a pillow with your right arm. Just rest for a moment. And as you're ready, push up with your top hand. Let your head be heavy till the very end. Coming all the way up. Bring your palms together in front of your heart. Inhaling, bring your arms up and overhead. Palms come together over your head. Bring your hands down, rest your thumbs at your forehead, and set an intention for compassionate thoughts. Bring your hands down to rest at your mouth. Set an intention for compassionate words. Bring your hands down to your heart, and as you bow your head to your heart, set an intention to be compassionate with yourself. Namaste. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you in the next class.